Now we're going to take a look at the Marko solo scenario today. So it's the only basic scenario which has a single house member, which has its own challenges. So the way it works is that we're going to get another house member arriving around day 13. Now day 13 just happens to be in the middle of a crime spree as well, but that gives us 12 days by ourselves. And it means that during those 12 days, we have to build the house up to the point where when the new house member comes in, they're not going to get badly injured on the first night they're at home. Because whoever you leave at home, unless you've got the windows boarded up and the reinforced door in, etc., you're going to get injuries, loss as soon as the new house member arrives. Of course, in the first 12 days, you're alone, so you're out of the house every day, so there's nobody at home to get injured. But if you leave anything in the house, it's going to get stolen. So first 12 days, that's the issue. You've got to build up the house, and you've also got to avoid as much as possible things getting stolen from the house, which generally means not leaving anything there. But there are ways to do that, so let's get started. So we got this house. So first thing I'm going to do is just run around and pick up. I'm going to leave some things in the piles because things in the piles can't be stolen. So anything I pick up is then in the house inventory and liable to be stolen. So I'm just going to pick up components and wood and just leave everything else where it is. And I'll pick it up later when the new house member gets in or if I need it. So I'm just going to make a mental note. There's a piece of meat there. Again, just picking up. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Never mind, I'll take that with me and just dump it somewhere tonight. Okay, we can't get to any of this up here because it's hidden behind piles. Now, this is just a chair. But we can get to this pile, and these two. So we'll do that. Okay, just components. Now I'm just going to make a mental note that we got parts here because we are going to need single parts to complete some upgrades later, and also these electrical components as well. So just a mental note that they are here. We should find a number of parts. So, all right. So another mental note that that is there. Okay. Oh, we've got to unblock this. So this is the last pile we can get to without digging. So again, just make a note that that's there and that's there. All right, let's get to our desk. So the first thing we're going to do is build a metal desk, which is what we do in pretty much every scenario. It's there. Metal desk up. Now most scenarios I would just build a crowbar, but I'm also going to build a shovel in this scenario because we've only got one person. Where we've got more than one person, we can hand dig through the piles normally in a day or two, but seeing as we've only got one and limited time because he has to sleep 5 hours a day, then I'm going to build both of these. Crowbar and shovel completed. So the only other thing we need out of today is a bed. We could leave that till tomorrow morning, but it's better to get it up on the first day. Bed completed. Now we can get on to digging the piles. So as far as the shovel's concerned, it's not essential, but it's difficult without it because it takes so long to dig through all these, hand dig through all these piles. So it's a convenience rather than a necessity. But I'll be back once we get to the box. So opening the box now. Okay, just the component. All right, I'm going to dig through these two and back when I get to this box here. Getting to the box now. So there are going to be two meds. There's going to be a bandage and a bottle of pills. They're normally at the bottom, so I'm expecting here and here, but sometimes they are at the top. I'm expecting to see a med here, which I won't pick up because I don't want to ferry it around. But it's good just to know where it is and it's there, because if we need it for emergency trade, if you like, if Franco comes and he's got something we really want, we can run down here, grab this for trade, and then go back up. But when we get our new house member on day 13, it's liable that they are going to be either injured or sick. So it's good to keep the bandage and the bottle of pills the other med will be a bottle of pills, so it's good to keep them if possible. Alright, so back when I get to this one. Opening the box now. So if the other med isn't here, it's liable to be up here, or maybe here. Yep, there it is. Alright, so components only, and there is a piece of meat in there. Alright, so 7:10, day ends at 8, so there's no time to get up here and do anything more. Now, we're not going to get raided on the first night, but I just want to see the requirements for the upgrade. So we've got everything we need apart from 5 parts. Now, I can't remember how many parts we saw. I think it was 3 or 4. But I'm going to bring home a stack of parts tonight, and then we'll just go get one part. I think there was one here, for example, and then we can complete that upgrade. So we want to do either this one or this one. I think we're going to upgrade the metal desk. So we need some components for this. So we'll just remember to bring back a stack of this and at least one stack of parts. There is an advantage, albeit a small one, to upgrading the metal desk first, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, so we've got this map, which is the looted gas station, so we need to start here. We can go to the quiet house, but that's the old couple, so the only reason to go there is if we want to steal or kill the old couple, I guess. 2 options. Because there isn't much there, but there is a lot of good stuff if we steal. But if we don't want to do any of that, then we're not going to go there. Now, St. Mary's Church is Priest Oleg. Alright, so that one's hit or miss. I tend to avoid going there, but looted gas station is good. There's no danger here, so we're going to head there. So there's no raid on night 1, so we've got nothing to worry about. So we can leave everything at home. Although, we do have one pile to dig through, so I'll take that. There are no boxes to open at this stage. There's one behind a saw blade requirement, but we can't get to it. So, and I may as well take this, I guess. Because I'll leave it there, and then, because we're going to have to go back there once we've got a saw blade anyway, and I'll pick up the water at that time. And let's go. So looted gas station, like all of the locations, we're just going to pick up all the piles and choose somewhere to have a central pile, or a consolidated centralized pile. So we'll just pick somewhere around here. Okay, we're already full. Back when this is done. Okay, I'm just going to drop something here and then make a centralized pile right here. So the only reason I didn't pick this as a centralized pile is because of that kind of weird pathing as you come out of here, as we'll see. I didn't see it there, but maybe it's that one. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just run around, pick up all the piles. There were a couple back here as well. Now, there's a door to force here. There's your saw blade requirement right there. We can't get in there. So I'm just going to check around. There's this pile up here that we need to get to. And there's all... Sometimes there's one out here too. Oh, there is, right there. Alright, so I'm going to grab everything. I'm going to go up here, grab this one first, and I think there's another door to force there, and then just pick up all these piles here. There are a couple down here as well, and I'm just going to consolidate everything in there and back when I'm done. So before I leave and do all that, just dump this off first. There's a clue here which you need to read. Now it says there's a note under the table, but it could be easily missed from the style of handwriting. So I'm really sorry I cannot wait longer. Hid some jewelry inside the books. Look for them in the basement inside carton boxes. So what that does is unlock a pile down here with some diamonds in. Unless you read this, you don't get the diamonds. I think it's 3 or 4. But anyway, I'm just going to pick up all the piles and we'll be back soon. 2:20 a.m. and we're just making our final drop off. And that's all of the loot available in one pile now. So we've got a couple of meds here. So that's 1, 2. We've got a stack of meat, carrots, a lot of components, a lot of parts. Now remember, we needed the parts for the upgrade, so we absolutely have to take that. Now I'm going to take the gun parts, because as soon as the metal desk is upgraded, I can make saw blades. So it means that we can come back here tomorrow with a saw blade and get to that place downstairs that is behind the saw blade. Now the issue with this scenario is that Franco usually comes on days 4 or 5, but day 2 is kind of weird, because day 3 you always get this can man coming who comes with 3 cans of food. So day 3 is kind of blocked off, but day 2 you either get no visitors or Franco can come early. And if Franco comes early, that's a real issue, because you've got nothing to trade really, unless you go and pick up those 2 meds. So it's kind of awkward, because it means that you end up taking stuff just in taking stuff to trade, that is, just in case he comes. So that's what we're going to do, just in case. But it means that we've got less pockets to take other things, which is unfortunate. But anyway, if he comes, that gives us a few things to trade. And we needed components, didn't we? So we'll do that. And some wood. Now it's actually okay giving up some pockets just to cover yourself, just in case Franco does come. And we'll be doing this on nights 3 as well, in case he comes on day 4, and also nights 4 in case he comes on day 5. Because you end up treading water. Once you get to about days 8, 9, 10, you end up treading water a little bit, waiting for the new house member to arrive, because you've done everything that you need to do. So giving up pockets isn't so important. Whereas if you've got scenarios like Anton Saveto, where each of them only have backpacks of 8 pockets, you really have to be as efficient as possible using every pocket available. This one you don't, so it's no real rush, and it's not a problem ferrying tradables back and forth. So we're not going to worry about that too much, but we've got enough to upgrade the metal desk, which is what we want to do, and make our saw blade. So let's get home, and yep, let's go. Let's go. So day 2, it's the only time that we know that we haven't been raided, because there isn't one on the first night, which is why we were able to leave stuff at home. Okay, today there's either going to be no visitors, or we'll see Franco. I don't know what the odds are, if it's 1 in 3, because we normally see Franco days 4 or 5. But anyway, if he comes, we're ready for him. Now, one thing I know that we need is a stove, because we're going to get raided from tonight, or we're liable to get raided from tonight. Now, anything we leave in the house is going to get potentially stolen. So what a stove does for us is that we can hide wood by putting on some wood to cook and then not completing it. So stove is complete. So what I mean by hiding wood is that, for example, we've got 24 wood, we don't want it stolen. So we can click this all the way up to 24, put make, and then just step away. And that way, all of the wood would disappear from our inventory and can't be stolen. And when we get back tomorrow morning, we just cancel it and we got our wood back. But anyway, we wanted to make an upgrade here, so let's do that. So we need 1 part, which is why we made a mental note that there's a part here. Alright, so this is not Franco, this is the can man. Now I thought he came on day 3. But if he's here today... Oh, wrong pile. So where were the parts? Oh, it was here, wasn't it? Well, let's deal with the can man first. He gives us 3 cans of food. Alright. Now, as far as eating is concerned, we're going to eat on days 5, 8, 11, and so on. So that is the 2nd day of very hungry, which is the day before we get to starving. So that's the... and we'll increase our eating schedule later on once we've got more food. So those 3 cans of food, that gets us through to day 11. So that's the part we needed. And then we'll have our new house member, and we can see what our situation is at that time. Alright, so we can do our upgrade, so let's do that. Now the upgrade is in, we can make our saw blade, so we're going to do that. So we have our saw blade for tonight. Now, if we just look at our things, now all of this is going to get stolen, so we either have to take it or hide it. And as there's nothing else I really want to do today, tomorrow it would be nice to get this upgrade in place. And for that, we're going to need another stack of parts and some more components. I don't think we're going to have the parts from the looted gas station, but there's no rush on this because we've got 12 days. As long as we get this done before day 13, there's really no problem. So we'll just bring home a bunch of stuff from the looted gas station before we move on to another location. Meantime, let's go hide our wood. So we've got 3 stations to hide things in here. So we hide our wood here. Done. So we've got a couple of gun parts as well, which we don't want stolen. So we just put that on to cook, leave it, cancel it tomorrow. And then components. And we don't have any components? Oh, there's only one, alright. Okay, because if there were components to hide, then we would just make as many of these as we could, or these, depending on whether the total components in the house is divisible by 3 or 4, whatever leaves the least number behind. But we don't have any. So it's 1:30. I could get upstairs and start working on this, but we need to be in bed by 3 because we're tired, and we need 5 hours sleep to lose our tired status, to go up 1 level. So that means we have to be in bed by 3, so it's pretty tight to get up there, start doing anything, then get down here and be in bed by 3. So, nothing more we can do today, so we can end the day there. Alright, so we've got the supermarket. Now that's the one with the soldier, which means that we can get a gun and bullets. Now of course there's nobody at home to defend the house with, so that's really not that important, but it will be important on day 13. That we get this home, the gun and bullets home, for the occupant at that time. Because with the windows boarded up and the reinforced door, if they're not armed, and you've got somebody like Anton or Sveta who comes, they are liable to get injured every night. Now with gun and bullets, I think that's less likely, or I don't think it happens, I'm not sure. So if you don't have the guns and bullets, it's really not that important. You just need to prepare for it by having enough bandages or the capacity to make bandages to keep up with the injuries. Because it only goes on for a few days before the crime spree ends, and then it stops. So it's really not that important. This is another really, really good location because there's a lot of stuff there. So we could actually go back here or here. It doesn't really matter at this stage, I don't think. So we're just going to go back here with the saw blade. And of course, we don't want anything stolen, so we actually have to take everything with us, and we'll do that. So let's go. So we've got a lot less to do here, because we just go to our centralized pile. There's nowhere else to go apart from downstairs here. So I'm just going to put everything away for now. So we need this down there, we need this down there, because there is somewhere that we need to unlock, and let's go. So this is the pile that was unlocked by reading the clue here earlier. It's the one with the diamonds in. And we get the port in this scenario as well, so these diamonds can be valuable. So 4 diamonds. Sorry, the port with this map versus this scenario, because the scenario has various maps. There's 6 standard maps. This is just one of them that happens to have the port. 3 have the port and 3 don't, I think. Alright, so there's another med down there. So that's it. This place is totally looted now, and it's we'll end up coming back here, but probably not tomorrow night. We'll pick a new location. So I'm gonna take the food and move it on to the next location, just so that we don't have to come back here. We're gonna be, as I mentioned, we're gonna eat on day 5, and if that means we would have to come back here for the food on night 4, and I probably don't want to do that. So I'll take the meds in case Franco comes. Now, I thought we always got the cowman on day 3, but he came on day 2, so that means that Franco could come on days 3, 4, or 5. I'll take that for trade and move it on to the next location. So I think we're probably going to dump a lot of stuff at the airport and use that. I'm going to take these, we haven't finished the house yet. Now, we don't have a stack of parts to take. Trade. We're going to come back for the water when we need it. We'll come back for this when we need it. We'll come back for that when we need it too. 4 teddy bears trade. And the rest, I think, just components and wood. That should do us. Doesn't really matter which. Actually, we did have a need for components, didn't we? But then we don't have the parts anyway, so that'll do. Alright, go. So I'm going to end the episode there rather than run too long, and be back with the next episode where we will probably cover days 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6. Depends how long each day goes. And I hope to see you then. Thanks. Bye.